Hello, this is a correspondence game played on OGS between 8Q and 9Q, where black won by 14.5. Being a one handicap, there is no komi for white. And also, this game was quite close most of the time, but towards the end, white lost a bunch of stones in the middle. Several groups of 2-3 stones got captured. Maybe white just lost focus towards the end, but overall was a pretty balanced game. So let's check it out. Black starts with 2 star points, 2 Hoshi moves. White goes 1 Hoshi, 1 Komoku. And then black plays the most trendy corner approach, the low Kakari. That's very fashionable these days. And white answers with the most common move, which is the Kosumi, to prevent being pressed down. Black extends for a base. Here black also had the choice to go for an early Sansan invasion. This is also very trendy nowadays, and we've seen that a lot recently, especially in pro games and AI games. But black decides to go for a calm base in the top left corner, and it's absolutely fine. Now white approach the top right corner. White could also choose any early Sansan invasion like R17 or R3, but playing O17 to approach the corner from the outside is very good too. Another calm defense by black. This is a pretty natural move to extend back towards E16 and try to set up a Moe in the top, but the top choice locally would be to attach at Q17, then Hane, and follow up with the most common Joseki these days. And white can extend M17, so he will set up a Moe in the top anyway, or just push O16. So this would be probably the most common Joseki to consider in the top right. But K17, it's absolutely fine too. Black is playing extremely solid and conservative. Black can consider the F3 approach, and then of course D3 attach like white in the top right corner in the previous variation, or extend back to O3. So like this, black can set up a Moe on the bottom side, taking the one to exchange first. Now when black plays O3, which is a very solid move, white can also consider a conservative defense at F3. So like this, white prevents the corner approach from the bottom side. And from F3, if black extends, let's say Q9 to go for a Moe on the right side, white can follow up on the left side all the way to C10 to put some pressure on the two stones and also expand his. Now in this position, black can also consider the shoulder hit, which is a very trendy move too, and expand the Moe on the bottom this way. But anyway, white should consider F3. In case black attacks from the left side, like C6, white will just enclose the corner, then black extends back like this or like this to prevent the invasion. And now white can either play the shoulder hit or invade the right side, as it happened in the actual game. So playing C8, it's not a bad move, but it doesn't really affect or impact the two stones in the top left, because it's quite far away from C12. Therefore, for white it's nice to go all the way to C10 to put some pressure on the two stones in the top left corner. And when black extends with a Keima, then white can go F3. But black can also extend in Tenuki in the top left corner and approach F3 first and take care of the bottom side and the corner. And when white plays the kick, black will simply go up and the base is still safe. So that's why for white it's more interesting to play a move like F3 and next step go to C10 if white gets a chance. Now when white plays C8, black can approach all the way to F3 and extend back J3, J4. J3 is the proper move, but it may feel a little bit flat, having all the 3 stones or most of the stones on the bottom side being on the third line. So J4 to alternate third line with fourth line, it's more interesting for black. black defended the top left corner, but it's no need because black shape it's quite fine. I mean, white stones are far away, so it doesn't really put so much pressure on that group immediately. For example, if black approaches f3 and then develops the right side like this, when white attaches c16, black still has room to extend to expand his base, or her base in this case, on the left side. And if white attacks at c10, now black can go b17. So black is maybe a little bit too cautious here in the top left corner. Now white grabs the big point on the right side. That's a good idea to split the right. And black played very good direction to play this r11. Nicely done. Black can also attack from r7. White makes a base at r12, and then black protects the top at q18. But this leaves the ag in the corner at r4, r3, or s5. So black still needs a move in the corner to stay safe. If white goes f3, black should double up like this, or r4 to secure the corner. So it's better to play the attack from r11. Very good directional play. And now the kick. Natural follow-up. White can also consider s4 slide, then pull back, attach once. This clamp is just a probe to see how black reacts, and then extend back for a base like this or like this. This is playable. But of course, when white plays the slide, black can consider ways to resist and counter it. So that's why white extended just 2 space for a base. Now black plays a kick, and white is supposed to go up. This is the most common defense, because if white plays away, black is very happy to take the tiger mount. When white plays the Han and Atari, this is Ajikeshi, and it still leaves 2 cutting points, so white has to go back to q6. Now we can see that all these exchanges were actually thank you moves for black, because black enclosed the corner like 15 points and there is no more Aji. If white simply stands and black plays away and the game proceeds with normal moves, white can invade the Sansan later on. But playing the Han and Atari, white actually eliminates that option. So it's an Ajikeshi. Aji is gone. So we can say that so far in this game, this sequence in the lower right corner is the first questionable play by white. Interesting attachment. This contact play, maybe it's a little bit too much. Normally, black's option locally would be to approach f3. Black can think about the Sansan invasion, and if white blocks on this side, maybe white goes for the double Hane, but it's fine, because black gets to develop quite nice the bottom side. And black can also consider the attach at d3, where white will either block the corner like this, and again black develops the bottom side, or white goes for the outside, and we can revert to the same kind of Joseki like with the Sansan. So playing the attachment from the side, it's a little bit questionable. Maybe black's seen something similar in a game of AlphaGo or so, but I'm pretty sure the idea here is to attach d3 rather than e4. So white should simply go down, because like this white grabs the corner and black is left with a position where it can become pretty heavy. So for example, if black goes up, white pushes along, and if black goes down at e3, white can take away the extension. So this way, black is not going to use the wall, because the potential goes directly into the white stone. Now, if black just blocks e3, white can Hane in the head of 2 stones, and this way black becomes over concentrated on the bottom side, and white again is happy to reinforce and build a lower left corner. But the actual move in the game is the Hane, so that shows more resistance. That's possible too. So usually against a contact play, you consider Nobi up or down or Hane up and down. So this seems like being the strongest move. And black played the counter Hane, which is a fine option. In this position, white is probably overplaying with the Atari. It's much safer to connect solid, and when black protects, white either plays no B or jump or takes away the extension. Actually securing the left side is quite nice. Then black extends for a base, and later on white can think about this kind of invasion. But compared to the no B, like this or like this is a much easier way for white to deal with the local situation. So white simply builds the corner while black is floating into the middle. So that's a better punishment. Now, when white cuts, things get a bit more tricky, because white needs to go back and protect anyway, and it's better to play the solid connection. Now, black has the ladder that goes to the top right corner. Is it broken by the stone in the top? Not really, huh? Yeah, it goes towards the black stones, so white needs to play some kind of ladder breaker here. But for white, it's better to push along and then invade h3. So again, white grabs the corner, but also invades the bottom side. Anyway, the position is good for black here when black set up the ladder. Now when white goes down, black can turn on the left first, and then set up the ladder, or push along. Even if white loses a stone on the bottom, the result of this fight is quite nice for black, because now black can put a lot of pressure on the left side stone. So just set up the ladder. In this position, black should capture right away, because after this capture, when white protects the left side like this or push, black can still block the bottom side with a pretty nice formation. Now when white pushes under g3, g2 or h3, black can invade the left side and separate c8 from the corner. Now when c8 goes out, black has this kind of attach to reduce the corner. If white protects, black just makes a nice shape towards the center. So from the point of view of removing Agi, it's much better to capture right away. Also, when black plays solid here, white can still threaten to go out at f5 with some kind of shoulder hit in the top left corner, top left area, something like this. So it's good to take right away. No more Agi. Now when white pushes again, black doesn't have to play the Nobi, which is an empty triangle. The local shape is J3, one space jump, but it's very big to turn. This shows more fighting spirit and block. Because even if white comes out at H3, black is very happy to switch the target. I mean, go for the left side instead of securing the bottom side. For these points that white is building on the lower side, black is taking a lot of profit on the left. So this trade should be better for black. Also, from the shape, we see here black has an empty triangle, and that's quite ugly. So white pushed along to connect the left side, that's very good. And pushed again on the bottom side. This move is not really necessary right now. I mean, white can jump from the right side. In fact, that happened in the game. So that's a good idea. And here white can push along in center, and later in the end game white needs to play moves like k2. And now just attach the top right. That's another simple joseki that can happen. Or slide, or jump in the corner. So this opening seems more promising for white. Black had the big opportunity to damage the left side and punish white, but now it looks like white has a slight advantage. So this reducing was Sente. Now white puts some pressure on the left side, that's a good idea. Here black can defend in a more artistic way, with a Kosumi. So when white pushes, black has nice eye shape. Also from the Kosumi on the second line, black has a follow-up to jump along in Sente later. And here black can also consider Tenuki. Because if white pushes directly c13 and cuts, it's not going to work to capture the two stones because black can retreat. Black doesn't have to block here to give them up. But of course, white can start with a push. And now if black blocks, white can push and cut this way and then separate the stone on the left side. But black again can simply turn. Well, this can be a little more annoying, but black's group is still fine. So black could Tenuki and grab a big point somewhere else instead. Now instead of playing the Keima on the left side, for white it's more interesting to jump K15 or J15 or Ogema in order to enclose the box in the top and also prevent the invasion at M17 or the shoulder hit at J16 by black. Playing this Keima, maybe white is trying to build too much, and this Keima doesn't really impact the stones on the left side nor the ones on the bottom. So black right now it's Sente, and we look for a way to reduce the top. Now this is like the second critical moment of the game. And white shouldn't attack from the wall in this case. The normal way for white to react to a shoulder hit is to push along at K16. First of all, this formation works really well with the extension at O17. Black has to no-B or jump. And now if this happens, white can wedge, connect, and kind of push white's group, black's heavy group into the wall on the left side. If black simply no-B, white pushes along and then came under to connect and keep the group without a base. So black has to turn or jump out to rescue the 3 stones. And then white has the freedom to choose whether to go in the corner or some other place on the board. The other option for white is to push at J17 and then turn K16, no-B, and later either connect under with a jump or Keima, or keep the attack on the group in the middle. So like this, white can get some stones in the center, and there's more potential to build in this area than it happened in the actual game. In the game, black got pretty much all the points in the middle somehow. So playing the shoulder hit or a counter shoulder hit here just gives black the option to go out too easy. Now black can play a Hane first and then Tiger Mount. This is a good formation to make some ice and run out. Also turn is good and then go out. The block is possible too and jump, because like this white ends up a little over concentrated in the top, then attach and run out again. Playing like this, white grabbed the key point. Now in order to defend in a more flexible way, it's still good to turn one time. This threatens to capture the stone, and then attach to make a shape in a more active way. Then go out. Also the shape becomes more flexible than the bamboo connection. Now if white pushes through, black can capture the stone in the top. In fact, black can capture it right away. And this way black just leaves very comfortable. So the moyo is damaged. Finally, white is playing the attach in the top. But actually in this case, it's more interesting to play a Keima like this, or shoulder hit on the right side to get stronger and try to attack the bamboo formation from the center. Anyway, when you don't know what to play locally, it's good to choose Tenuki. Tricky crosscut. Normally just Hane, but this is playable. This looks like a handicap style move. Black can Atari, connect, then capture the stone. Either like this or take it right away. When black captures directly, if white pushes in the top like this, it's not going to affect black too much. But when black captures like this, white can push and hane to prepare a double Atari, push along and then separate. So it's probably better to take right away. White got a pretty nice shape here. But this turn is not necessary, and it's not it's a gote move too. Right now for black it's important to turn and jump out. In the top, if white plays s16, black can just capture the stones faster. So that was a waste. In fact, black can also play s19. Now black has 4 liberties, white got 3. Oops, that's a misclick. I meant to play here. So playing this move, it's a bit too early. Also, if black wants to protect, it's better to block r18. So when white comes down, black still captures faster. That was a slow move, but not such a big mistake after all. It's urgent for black to jump in the middle, either j11 or k11. Those stones are still heavy and baseless, so it's more important to protect them like this. This schema expands the bottom area, but it doesn't put enough pressure on the right side and leaves the top group undefended. So I should take the opportunity to start an attack in the middle, playing K or J11. Now when black runs out like this, black is forced to connect on neutral points more or less. So this is quite painful, and this way white gets to control the center. Playing like this, it's a bit risky. Black can counter it. Seems to be too close to thickness. But black was kind and defended. And this looks heavy. It's threatening to rescue the one stone, but it's not important. Still better to jump in the middle. Luckily, white can play a Kosumi, threatening to come out. Then black will double up and then play away, just to make a flexible formation in the center. So black finally jumps out. That's important. And white's natural move would be to play a one spade jump here in order to put some pressure on the j11 and also make some kind of I shape in the middle. So this moves in the center, the last 4 moves or 5 moves black played, white played, they seem to become neutral points and even a target later on. Very nice schema to come out. Luckily for white, it's good to play c10. Now at this stage, white looks pretty okay. Actually for white, it's more important to protect the right side like this or attach and pull back. And overall, with the territory in the top and the one on the left, white should be slightly ahead. Second line move, it's not the case yet. Normally, third line move, then reinforce the right side, and later on, let's see. If black keeps trying to build the center, white can attach the top left or play Kosumi b11. So that's the order. The second line move black can just ignore. Well, the block is good. It's like white played on the third line, black goes Kosumi and white blocks. But white can delay this block and play more important moves right now. This is a big point. White can ignore though and try something on the right side. And white can also just block. Well, e18 is giving up a few points, but it's pretty much the same in the end. So white finally protects this right area. This attach is nice. The point was to sacrifice one stone and get Atari on the outside in order to reduce the middle. Instead of playing here, white should think about the clamp and expand the center like this. This block feels a little smaller. Black can push from this direction, then here, then increase the middle on a larger scale. This is okay to play Atari in center on the first line, but white shouldn't push. It's better to consume it this way and this way in order to reduce the center, because the push on the right side is just gote. Black will block, and then when you want to save the two stones, you gotta spend another move to defend them. But white can also give up the two stones. It's also gote for black to capture them. So not so urgent to defend right now. They are only 4 points. So far so good. White is still slightly ahead. Black should push here, threatening to separate. So white will come back and protect. The block is safe. This is big. That's also good reducing by black. Black can also play Hane on the first line in center. That's a center move too. Here white can protect c9, because when white plays b8 and black pushes, white still needs c9. So this way white played the move inside and lost a point. But if white plays c9 right away and black goes here, white is not going to play b8 to ruin his own point, but play on the outside. So that's a small detail to remember. This push is no need. You better let black play one Atari, it's not such a big deal. And even this one can be ignored. So right now I can push in center in several places. And then come back and protecting gote. So this is again gote for white. White should actually play k1, because after this white can play m1. So when black descends, white doesn't need to defend. And when black plays away, white can go m1 in center. If black blocks like this, white just connects and later fight a call to force black play inside one more time, because it's a double Atari. Playing like this, black can go down in center threatening a snapback, so white wasted the chance to destroy 2 more points. It's like white goes k1, black plays m1, which doesn't threaten anything, but white defends anyway in advance, instead of playing away and when Atari connect. These are small mistakes that add up and lead to a loss. Now here is the place where white messed up. White should just connect solid and keep all those stones connected. In the actual game, white lost 2 stones here, then a few more stones here, and a few more stones here. So altogether, 3 plus 3 plus 2, that's like 16 points being captured and some surrounding territory. So white was actually 5 points ahead, but in the end, white gave up his lead. So black pushed like this, very good. If black plays Atari on 2 stones, this is the only capture black gets. So pushing like this, it's much better, because now black captured 2 stones with 3 points of surrounding territory, or even 4. Okay, white got all those moves in center. Now here, white should play this kind of move to oh, sorry, it doesn't work. Oh, should connect the 3 points, the 3 stones Atari. Yeah, this doesn't work because black will capture. So just here, but now black captures the 3 stones, that's bigger. So black took 3 stones. Now white has to pay attention to the Dametsumari and connect solid. And black took 3 more stones. And that's game over. So 3 plus 3 plus 2. And the surrounding points. That's how black won the game in the last few moves. So one should stay focused till the end. Here, white can play Atari, and when black captures the ko, white should fight that ko. But where are the ko threats? Not so easy to find them. Well, Atari here, and capture back. But it doesn't matter anymore. Black has a very comfortable lead, so no way to come back at this stage. So to sum up, the beginning was pretty balanced, and black doesn't need to play q2. I wonder why. Maybe just being lazy to read what happens if white cuts. So the game was really balanced in Fuseki, and in the middle game, white had the chance to keep the lead, but later on it just gave up in the center. So black was really skillful to build all this middle and capture a bunch of stones there to win the game. Well done, and I hope you enjoyed this review.